Hello. I haven't done this in a while. Today, that's gone. Today we are talking about the most underrated way to communicate with your audience and to shine on Instagram, and that is stories. Drumroll, you already knew if you clicked on the title of this video, but today's focus is stories and taking your stories to the next level. And by next level, I mean something that's looking more professional, something that's more polished, something that's also aesthetically more beautiful. So I'm going to be teaching you all of that today. I'm a social media manager myself, so I work with a nonprofit environmental organization and I communicate on environmental science on their platforms. But I also have my personal page where I content create a lot. I post a lot of videos, a lot of photos, lots of reels, but I also spend a lot of time focusing on stories. Well, for a few reasons. First of all, I think it's a fun space. It's something that's a bit less stressful, let's say, than spending time posting or on stuff that's going to have more longevity of the platform. There's a lot less pressure that's put on stories, so it's a fun way for you to be yourself, to engage with your audience, to also question them. So I think it's a great way to really have more of a genuine relationship with your audience in stories. Also, I believe they're a bit underrated because they actually get a lot of attention. They get a lot of views. They get a lot of interactions, sometimes even more than what you post on your feed or what you post on reels or videos or whatever other ways you communicate on that platform. I feel like stories are really underestimated. So they're also a place that I shine. I have gotten a lot of comments over the years of people saying that they love watching my stories because they're really beautiful. So go figure. I'll tell you my secrets. Today we're going to be looking first at what you can do in-app without buying anything, without needing another software, another app, just what you can do within the Instagram app. And then we'll move on to some of the free and paid apps that I use to take my stories to the next level. So yes, let's get stuck into it. All right, so here we are on that familiar yet dreaded yet loved interface. So obviously we'll start with the plus sign by adding a story. Two ways to share stories: either you're sharing a photo that you're taking on the fly with the little camera icon up here, or you're uploading something that is saved to your phone. Let's say I want to upload the photo with this hot air balloon here because I like it. I want to direct your attention for this first hack to this little square with the smiley face within it. And I'm clicking on this and I'm going down to, drumroll, link. That's right, I don't have 10,000 followers at the moment, so technically you could think I'm not allowed to have links in my stories, but Instagram recently updated and now made it possible for anyone on Instagram to share links, which is amazing and something you should definitely take advantage of. So I use links, for example, to redirect people to my portfolio or redirect people to my presets. So let's say I want people to click on my presets because that's how I edited that photo. So I'll just do notjustcolor.com, that's the name of my website, and place it here and add a little text above it saying, check out my presets or something else. I'm just adding a little context here. Click the link below. So yeah, I wanted to put that out first because I think it's a really, really neat feature. And now that it's available to small creators, it's something that we should really take advantage of. And you don't necessarily have to share your website or your portfolio or anything. You could be sharing petitions. You could be sharing anything you want people to pay attention to pay attention to. So that is for the first hack. Second thing I want to mention today is the importance, really the primordial importance of interactions. If you want your stories to be seen by more people, you want people to interact with them. That is what is going to skyrocket you to the top of your queue and have people look at your stories. So one of the ways you can do that, let's say I'm sharing this photo here. I like it, it's cool. I use a little secret effect. You can find the effect in my reels. Actually, I've made a whole tutorial on it. Super easy to do. But anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about interactions on stories. And so the way you can do that, you have a couple options here. But one of the ways that I find the most effective is to use polls, to have people vote either yes or no, or what's your favorite color, or do you prefer blue or pink? It could be anything that's sort of mildly related to what you want to talk about or the way you communicate. And having people really vote on those polls is what is going to bring more attention, more interactivity to your stories. So let's say for this poll, I say, have you ever been to Greece, right? This is an easy question to answer. People will most likely answer that poll because, they want to see how many people of my followers have been to Greece or not. So yes, no, there you go. You have an interactive reel right here, which is going to equal to more views. All right, so now you have your poll. It's floating in space and it looks pretty. One of the other things I like to do here to make it a bit different, and stand out, is to actually use the pen tool up here, the drawing. I usually tuck this highlighter because that's the look I prefer, but you can figure out which one you prefer yourself. And what I'll do is I'll make it small and I'll just squiggle like this on my photo. And somehow this has sort of been equated to my style of sharing things. I don't really like things floating in space, so I link them with little squiggles. And you can do the one, let's say, on the other side like this. So it's just something fun to play around to make your reels look a bit different, a bit special. So that's for the mini hack. The second point that I want to raise today that is still in the Instagram app is actually layering content. So you can actually put more than one layer of content in your stories. That meaning that you can share something with a background, you can share someone else's post with a background on it. So I'm going to be teaching you all of that right now in the Instagram app. All right, so now we're talking about layering. So let me explain exactly what I mean. Let's say I just posted this reel here, and I really enjoyed the comments that I got in the comment section, and I want to give back to my audience and show them that I appreciate what they're putting out there, the comments, the insightful comments that they're putting out there. So what I'll do, first things first, is I'll screenshot it. Let's see, I like Love and Postcards answer, I like Sunday Avenue, and I like Les Baroudeurs. So I'll do 3 screenshots here, 3 clean screenshots. Bear with me. Then I'm gonna go to my photos, and you can see those screenshots appear at the bottom. And what I'll do is I will crop them. So let's say I don't really care about the reply in the day, so I'll just crop like this. Okay, it doesn't let me crop much smaller, so I'll just crop like that. That's fine. And then I'll go here, and I'll just keep the Love and Postcard one here. Voilà. And lastly, I'll do the same for the last one that I wanted to share, which was the To Feel Alive here. Yeah, that's a good answer. And so there you go. So now in my photo library leaves these 3 comments just alone like this. So now I'll go back to Instagram and I'll add a story. Now I'll click the smiley button with the square in it once more, and I'll scroll down to photos. And as you can see, my photo library, there's, already that little comment that's popping up. So I go into the photo libraries, and it's going to give me the option to layer content. And so I'll click on the comment, and ta-da! I have the comment that is appearing right here, floating into space, looking beautiful. And so when I do that, I usually will also tag the person that left the comment right here on top as well, and that way that person will be notified that I have shared a story about them, and usually they'll be happy to see that their answer is being shared in my stories. So that's also a great way to get engaged with your community when they're leaving comments on your post, but also having them show up in story. Hopefully you're finding this video helpful and you're actually finding some helpful tips in there. If you are, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It really does help me. I always find it so awkward to ask you guys to like this video, but I really do think it actually helps. So if you could do it, it's amazing. Thank you so much. If not, well, that's okay. Doesn't matter. I'll keep going on with the tips. And so the next tip that I want to talk about is actually not in the Instagram app, but it's actually a way to plan your content and to make it more aesthetically appealing. So the app we're going to be talking about is called Unsplash. No, Unfold. Unfold. That's the one. I always get them confused. One is called Unsplash and one is called Unfold, but we're actually going to be talking about Unfold, and it's amazing. So let's jump in the app right now, and I'll show you what you're able to create in there. You might notice that my phone is sparkling clean and organized. That's because I follow a principle of digital minimalism. I'm still learning, and I have a whole video on it. So if that's something you want to achieve, feel free to jump in the link that's popping up above, and it's a whole video on how to integrate principles of digital minimalism in your life for a more simple life. So right now we are looking at Unfold. It's an app that's powered by Squarespace, and it essentially gives you templates for your stories so you can easily make them more interactive, more aesthetically pleasing, give them a film look, or whatever it is you're seeking. So we'll start here and I'll just show you easily how to make a nice story. So first you'll choose whether it's a post or a story. For this purpose we're doing stories, and you click the little plus button. It's really intuitive, and then you have different effects at the bottom, or different moods, I guess. And one that I really enjoy is actually the film one. So I'll scroll to film and you'll see you have 1, 2, 3, and these are just different preset collections of templates, and you can choose amongst them. So let's say I'm choosing this one right here. I have my new preset collection and I want to publish a story about, let's say, Sicily. So I use this photo that I like of myself and I'll put it here, and I'll even look at the little effects that you can add to give it more of a bite. In that case, I think I like the Tulum effect. And ta-da! I have a really nice story right here. So as you can see, you can browse all those different templates. You can even mix and match the different templates. Let's say I want to use the plastic one, which I think is really cool as well. For another photo of Sicily, I can do that, and it looks like wrapped in plastic. Amongst other effects, you have stickers, which I enjoy. They have different templates and different stickers. These are really fun to add words. It's kind of time consuming, so have your words be short, because every time you'll add a letter, then you'll have to resize it with your 2 thumbs to orient it like this, and then you'll have to go back, add another one, wrong plus button, sorry, in the pen tool, and add sticker here. You have to go back and add another letter. So keep your words short, but they do look really good. That doesn't make no sense, I know. Last neat feature about this app, let's say we go back to, let's go to the paper one, for example, which I also really enjoy. I want to use this one, which has a frame, which for the moment is white. Let's fill it up with a nice little photo right here. What I'll do is, again, I'll go to the pen tool and go to background, and here I can go to texture, which is what I prefer, and I can add this sort of paperish texture to the back of the photo instead of having a white background. So you can keep some consistency in the paper look. Let's say that's your brand identity, then you can add that. Alternatively, you could pick marble. That's kind of a vibe, or you could pick this magazine, or you could put this like sort of filmy grain texture at the bottom. And voila, just like that, you have a aesthetically pleasing story that only took a few minutes to create, and you can upload them like that into the Instagram app. All right, last thing I want to mention today, and this is definitely a bonus. This is something I hadn't really planned on talking about, but I'm really enjoying this video, so I will throw it out there. It's another app that I use, partly for photo editing, but also for editing my own stories and giving them a bit of more of a grungy look, or more of a film look, and it's called Mextures. I hope that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. It's on the screen anyways. And so you download this app and you're able to layer some dust, some light flares, and some other effects on your photos, which then give them more of a film look, which I really enjoy. So for example, this photo didn't start out with that grain and those little dust particles. I've actually added them in post, and then I uploaded that photo to Instagram, and actually did really well because I think it has, you know, a different edge to it. It is cinematic, it is pleasing to the eye, and it's something that people enjoy watching. So. All right, so this was my last tips for how to improve your story and your story content on Instagram. I hope you learned something. I hope you found it helpful, and yeah, subscribe, like if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. And thank you so much for joining me. It really means a lot that you're supporting my work. See you in the next upload.